I ain't gonna lie, Tankhun is actually smart in a way. Because how you come into Bot Plane's place, and nobody sees you. Somebody has to invite you in. But no, instead, Bot Plane is like, hurry up and go to my room so my grandmother doesn't see you. I believe the grandmother probably see him already because how did he get access in the house? Also, I feel like Bob Plang will act a little bit sneaky with Takun. And Takun was like, are you trying to keep me a secret now? Dude, right now I'm actually suspicious of Takun right now. So, you being a secret is the least of our problems. And also, Bob Plang is acting kind of sus too. So, they're both suspicious and they're both, I don't know. But you have to remember, Takun is only there because, well, Botplang lost like 10 years of his memories. So he came back to this town to reclaim them, right? And ever since he came back, a lot of things are happening that he is involved in that he doesn't know. And then somehow some mystery secret lover shows up and says, oh, I'm your lover. Now, the thing that Pat Plan failed to do is actually really search this up. All he does is find an email the person tells him to meet in this place. He meets them and he meets this person, right? And for some odd reason, one thing I hate about how Pat Plan is doing this, he's acting like he remembers everything, but all he's doing is going by this notebook that he gets. Is it even his notebook? Can he even know his own? Well, he probably knows his handwriting. One thing I can say about Tankhun is that you might feel suspicious about him, but he will do so much good and nice and sweet things that it will draw you in to believe anything that he says. And that's exactly what Bot Plang is doing, believing everything that he says. Now remember, we still have two corpses to solve and how their death has anything to do with Bot Plang. The only thing that's connected is that they used to work for Bot Plang's family. But at the same time, it's suspicious that Bot Plang just shows up and immediately a body is just found. I mean, what killer would actually trace the police towards some dead bodies? That makes sense. All I can say is ever since Bot Plang entered this whole entire area, he sees the body, and then Tankhun just shows up. So I'm assuming we're going to blame it on Tankhun's appearance, not Bot Plang. This is the part that's hard for me because Tankhun is working with the police, but the police are working hard to get to Bot Plang. How is it that you're working with someone that's actually going out for your quote-unquote secret lover? Tankhun, I mean, didn't you say you're an expert of reading people's body language and reading people overall? Can't you just narrow down like one or two suspects to question so you can read their body language to see if anyone's lying or something? I know you can't even question Bot Plang because Bot Plang can't remember much of 10 years. And even if he does, and you can't read his body language, then you need a different profession job. Now he's saying the reason he's taking on this case is because of Bot Plang. Now, yeah, you're doing it because you're starting to like Bot Plang. Now, before you audience say, oh no, because they have a 10-year bullshit. This ain't the real one. The one that we saw got a headshot. This is not the one. This one is probably another person or a twin brother or something, and he's probably trying to figure out what the hell happened to his twin brother, so he needs to figure it out to get closer to Bot Plang. Now, he's doing this to make Bot Plang like him or something. I don't know, but he is not the person. And you're probably wondering, oh, but what about the scar on his hand? There wasn't any. And homeboy wasn't sleeping when he was dabbling on his hand. He figured that, oh, wait, my brother must have had a scar. So he's going to put the scar there. Either that or he had a copy of the book. I'm suspicious of this guy. The whole sad thing about it is Bot Plang's 10 years missing memories. And because of that, Tankhun is using that to get closer to you. But he's also trying to pick at your brain to actually bring back the memory so he can solve something. Something that has to do with the bodies and something has to do with the real Tankhun. Anyways, what I do realize though is that while they're in a relationship, right? Listen to me, hear me out. The 10 years that we are gone, yeah, that's the part that I'm figuring out. He does have a trauma though. Botplane has a trauma. 'Cause if you remember closely back in the previous episode when they were attacked and Tankhun was fighting off the enemy, even though the enemy wasn't enemy, I think he was just wanting Botplane to leave the place. Anyways, Botplane had a panic attack. And during his panic attack, there's some one or two memories. So I assume whatever happened to the real Tankhun, it affected him so much that he forgot that 10 years. But I think if he gets a serious amount of panic attack or something, he will remember it. But it have to be a real shit to actually bring that back. Then you have Miss Inspector here, who's definitely going to try her best to find some evidence to take down Bob Plank because she feels like his family is hiding something and she wants to find evidence, especially about the father. I don't know what's wrong with Bob Plank's father, but whatever it is, she's determined to find some evidence because she believes Bob Plank is hiding something, considering the fact that he almost gripped her hand so tight, shows that the man has strength. The question is, why didn't he fight off that intruder in the woods? Hold up. The fact that Tankhun keeps visiting Botplank's home, does his grandmother not come home or see anybody? And also, does Tankhun knows about Botplank's mother who's bedridden? I mean, he acts like he knows him. If they're lovers, as he says, he should know those things. I'm definitely scared of Botplank because everything that he's doing that's coming forth in front of Tankhun is going by that journal that he has that he claims is his. But it's 10 years of his memory, right? How is 10 years fitting in that little book? It's not a big encyclopedia, you know. So everything that he's spoiling, everything of his own drama, his own little life. Like, what do you mean by relive memories? What memories are you trying to relive from that book? This is what Forrest's been training for in the gym. Body yaddy, but don't take book lightly. Homeboy's been training in the gym too. You just have to see him strip and you'll see it. One thing about working in a newspaper company is that you know one or two people that works in other newspaper people to get one or two information. And Mile here seems to know more than he shouldn't. So he sees Jen. Jen, I believe, is Tankhun's younger sister. But I don't think she even think this Tankhun has anything to do with her brother. Wait, who's the older brother? Tankhun, right? So maybe she doesn't trust that this person is her older brother. Because like I said, I saw that homeboy got headshot. So who is the person? I don't know. What do you mean by you're looking for your older brother? You don't believe that Tankhun is your older brother? Okay, so let's talk about Botplang. Botplang, I remember, he wants to relive his memory, wants to bring back old memories with the person that's in front of him, Tankhun, that he thinks is his lover. But there's a problem with the book and reality. See, in reality, everything that he's doing, including like what he's doing right now, giving Tankhun like dairy product and cookies and stuff like that, right? That's what's in the book. That's what the book he wrote in the book that his Tankhun likes. But in reality, there's gonna be a problem. This Tankhun don't like it. This Tankhun either lactose or allergic to something. A lot of things is going wrong that's not adding up. Now, I feel like with the wrong move that Tankhun is making, he thinks that Botplang is catching on that he's not the real Tankhun. So he's trying to keep up with the pace of Botplang and how Botplang is going. Remember, Botplang is the one initiating all the memories. So everything that Botplang says, Tankhun is trying to go with it. But let's be honest, Botplang is trying his best to relive those 10 years, but at the same time trying to add in some new ones too. So if you look at it, even if he doesn't even remember any of those 10 years, neither does Botplang because neither does Tankhun because that's not the real Tankhun. But at the same time, they are doing like a new memory. So it's kind of good and bad at the same time, because while they're trying to make new memories, what happens with the book? I feel like there is some secrets in the book that's written that maybe the police can find out in it. Now hear me out. There could be three storyline or three possibilities that's going on right now, and we need to pick one. Now it's either one, the real Tankhun is dead, and the dead brother, which is this Tankhun, who is sharing the same name or using the same name of his dead brother, trying to get some answers through Botplang, but can't get it because that's 10 years and Botplang doesn't remember. Or Botplang knows something and he really did kill the brother and he doesn't know. Or none of this is real and Botplang is reliving something that's not real. I get that Botplang wants to make new memories because he's starting to like this Tankhun and this Tankhun starting to like Botplang. But no matter what you do in trying to make happiness, there's gonna be something wrong, because remember, the inspector, the police are onto their asses, not Tankhun, but Botplang. Now, there's something I don't get. I remember when Botplang is talking to his grandmother, and his grandmother is talking about whose house this belongs to, which is her daughter, which is Botplang's mother, but Botplang's mother is bedridden. Why is she bedridden? How did all that happen? We're in episode 3 and already we're confessing. Why so soon, Botplang? What are you trying to rush?